Welcome to Route Planner version 3.0. As you can tell from our opening screen, it definitely has changed if you've had previous versions of the spreadsheet. This is the new opening menu. Everything has icons. Everything is connected to something. So let's start by going through all the easy icons first. Gas Buddy. Gas Buddy is a link to take you to an external site if you need to find out what the current cost of fuel is. What's your MPG is what's your miles per gallon. If you don't know what your vehicle gets, you can click on this link and it will tell you what your car should be getting to the gallon. These two icons come in handy when you're doing calculations to find out what your estimated fuel costs will be for a route that you may be planning. MapQuest Optimizer is used to optimize your route to find the best and most effective way to get around. Google Maps we use so that you can take the map information that you've created in Route Planner and upload it to your smartphone and use that as your GPS. Of course, if you're doing a route, you may want to know what the weather is for that day. Well, we've given you a Weather Channel link. And if you're going to stay overnight, you have two choices of hotels.com or Airbnb, and those links will take you to those sites. If you want to rewatch this video, you can click here where it says need video help, and you'll be able to get this video again. Or if you want written instructions, you can click on this link right here, and ta-da! Route Planner instructions will come up, as well as it will list any future updates further down should there be more updates or fixes that come along. You noticed I just clicked a tab and it vanished. On many of the pages, we have that hide this tab feature. There's no sense keeping the tab open at the bottom. You don't need it. You can always access it back from the main menu. So now let's start with setup. Okay, when you get yours, you will see this exact same screen. Let's go through the columns individually. Shop type. This is where you'll list some short description of what type of shop it is. Audio, video, written, is it merchandise? Maybe you want to call it vid apartment or odd apartment for short. Okay? You may not want the word apartment in at all, since you know that all shops you do, for instance, for EPMS, are always apartment shops. It's up to you, but you need to keep this as short as possible in your descriptions. Mystery Shop Company, you can put their full name in here in this section. And the MSC code is basically an abbreviation of what the mystery shopping company name is. Home address is very important. I'm going to put in the home address if I know my head. Talmadge Road, period, comma. Always remember periods and commas, space, Toledo, Ohio. I don't need the zip. Okay? That is the default address that will now always appear on the Route Planner. Times. These times are used in drop-down menus in both travel time and shop time. You can add additional times to the list, but I suggest if you do, put them in chronological order. So if you want to add 35 minutes, add 35, but move the rest of the information down so that it will appear easier to find. Okay? All right. Also on the right side, you will see more information in case you forget what I've told you on how to use setup. Once this is set up, you never have to come back to it unless you want to add some extra times or add more shop types or additional shopping companies. All right, I'm done. I'm going to hide this tab. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to create a route. So let's click on the icon, create a route. I'd like you to take note that down here on the tab, you'll see it says Master 2. Watch what happens. You're going to start by entering the date you plan on doing the shop. Not today's date, the date you plan on doing the shop. All right? And then just watch. The tab on the bottom just changed to the date. Automatically. Every time you enter a new route, a new tab will be created and the date will appear. Just keeps everything nice and organized. If you notice on the sheet, it says right here, my address. That's the default address that I put in setup. But what happens if I'm staying at a hotel? Well, overnight, I can eliminate this, move it, or I can overwrite it. I just type in the name of the hotel because that's going to be my new starting point. It won't affect my default, only affects the route for that day. So now let's start by entering in information for the route we're going to do. All right, first I'm going to start with my MSC, my mystery shop company. Let's say it's Ellis. All right, the shop ID 11111. The shop type is going to be an audio, a video. Okay, I'm good with that. And I'm going to cheat here and copy and paste some locations I have on another sheet, just for time's sake. All right, don't worry that it's bold. It won't appear like that on yours, but it's just I'm copying and pasting real quick. The next one I'm going to do is Grace Hill. I'm going to do another code. There we go. Let's do another one. Let's say it's written. Don't worry about the shop stops either. Not important right now. And let's do another location, and let's do right here. Actually, let's do this one right here. Okay, if it would cooperate. There we go. There we go. Next. And I'll do, let's say, shadow. There we go. And we'll do 55555. And this will be a, oh, I don't know. Let's say it's audio. Okay. And let's do another location. Let's do, how about this? There we go. Okay. And we'll do one more. Let's say we do, there we go. And I'm going to put in here, Control V, Skyview, and I'm going to put a Primo, and it's going to be one, and it's going to be, let's say, I don't know, let's say merchandise, doesn't matter. Okay, now let's go ahead here, and normally I would have done this in order, but I'm trying to do it quickly. What you do is, well, obviously after you enter the location information, you probably want to go through here at the same time, type in what the shop pay is. Are they paying a bonus? If you notice, it's totaling it here for you. Go to the next one. Let's say it's 60. I'm giving you a $20 bonus. Let's say this one is 35, and there is no bonus, but it's got a $15.50 reimbursement. And if you notice, reimbursements, purchase paybacks is what I've called reimbursements. That's because reimbursement wouldn't fit in the column. So the next one we're going to fill in here, we'll do another 40. And let's say there's no bonus on that one. And since I'm not going to use this column here, let me just go to the drop down and blank it out because we don't need it. Okay. Now, since we do the routes all the time, I know at how long it's going to take me to get probably to my first stop because it's usually, and you'll probably know as well. And I want to be at my first stop, let's say by 10 a.m. So I'm going to go here to my depart from home, and I'm going to type in here 8 a.m. And then let's go right off it. Now, You notice on my arrival column, it's changed all my times. I don't know the travel time or the shop times yet. I probably know the shop time. So I know that this shop will take me 30 minutes to do. I know that this shop is going to take me, let's say 30 minutes. But the point I want to make here is you can change these times to whatever suits you. Okay? And let's go to 30 minutes there, and that's 30 minutes. And now, oops. No, we're good. Okay, now we don't know what this information is yet, so we're going to find out now. Next step is we need to create the route. Let's do that. What you do is you click on Address File. So we click on Address File, and it just made a file for you in the background. It's residing in your Route Planner directory. The next thing we need to do is we need to know, okay, what order are we going to do these shops in and how much time it takes us. So then we go into MapQuest. We click on the MapQuest icon. MapQuest pops up on our computer. We want to go to Browse. We're going to locate the temp address file, which resides in your C drive in the Route Planner version 3.0 folder. Open it, and there you go. Okay, so we want to remove that, and remove that. Okay, it didn't like our home address, so we are going to type in there we go. And now we can take this and we can move it up to here. And we are now going to, this route is round trip. Yes, it is. I'm going to check that off. Allow us to reorder your route. Yes, you are. Preview the route. Okay. Here is the route that MapQuest came up with. B, C, D, E, and then shoot back home. Works for me. It also changed it over here in the correct order. So what I do now is I'm going to locate Muirwood Village. I already have it in the second spot. Grand, nope, I want Grand is my third, is going to be my, see if I take this out of here, it becomes less confusing. So Muirwood is going to be my first stop. Grand will be my second stop. Hilliard Park is going to be my third stop. And my fourth stop will be the Columbus, 20th Street. All right, so now I have them all in the order according to MapQuest. And I'm going to click right here, Sort Route. And look what happens. It put everything in the correct order. Nothing has changed. Everything is the way it should be. We go back into the map. What we need to know now is we're going to view the route directions. We need two things from our route directions. We need to know the round trip miles, right? 320 miles round trip. We're going to enter that information right here, 320. We're going to go back up here, go back to our map. We're going to scroll down. And it's telling me that it's 2 hours and 2 minutes to get to my first stop. So travel time, 2 hours and 2 minutes. I'm going to overestimate my time because what if I have traffic problems? What if I got to go to the restroom? I'm going to say it's 2.5 hours. Okay, now I'm going to go down and look at my next stop. It says it's 31 minutes. Okay, well, that's like a half an hour. So I'm going to go like 30 minutes there. Oops, 30 minutes. There we go. Back to my map. Next stop is going to be Hilliard Park. It's 10 minutes away. Hilliard Park. I'm going to give myself 15 minutes. I like to overestimate sometimes in case I'm running behind. And my last one is going to be 19 minutes to downtown Columbus. So we'll go 25 minutes. There we go. As you noticed, the arrival times have now all changed. I'm leaving at 8 a.m. from home. I'm going to be 10:30 at Muirwood. I'm going to get 11:30 at Hilliard Grand, 12:15 at Hilliard Park, 1:10 at Skyview, and then I'll be heading home. The next thing we need to do with this is create a GMap file. Okay. The GMap file just overwrote the original address file. We're now going to scroll down and we're going to go to GMaps, Google Maps. And we're going to create a new map. We're going to give it a name. I'm just going to call this test map. Actually, here, I'll do the way I normally would do. I would do February 14th, which is the date, and this is a Columbus route. Okay, and I would save it. Appears back up here. Now I'm going to import. Again, I'm going to select the file, which, like I said earlier, is going to be in your C drive. And there we go. Okay, address, continue. Address, check it off. It needs those headers, so you need to check that off. Okay, it's going to show you've got some errors. Not a problem. You're going to open the data table. See right there and there? Not a problem. Right click on it and delete the row. Right click on it, delete the row. Our home address is not showing up. If you want to add your home address, you're going to right click. You're going to add a row and you're going to type in here and there you go. You can now exit on that. You're going to see there's your Toledo, Ohio, but you don't want it there. You're going to want to move it. So drag it up to the very top. Okay. Individual styles right here. Click on that. Click on individual styles. Do sequence of numbers. Now it's put everything has a number. This list now matches that optimized route that you did on your form. Shoot down, scroll over, take a look. 2, 3, 4, 5, and there you go. As soon as you created this map in Google, if you go to your smartphone and bring up your Google Maps, bring up your Google Maps in your smartphone, and once it appears, you will see on the left-hand side 3 bars that next to the words add your destination. Click on those 3 bars. Then choose the very first topic, Your Places. From the Your Places, look at the word Maps across the heading. Click on Maps. You will now see your map appear in the list. You can click on it. Use your 2 fingers to scroll inwards and you'll see your map. Now there's your GPS. Pick the number you're starting with and it will give you directions to that number. Alternatively, you can go back to the 3 bars again, and if you want, you can click Offline Maps, hit Custom Map, and it will now download that particular map to your phone so that you are not using live airtime. You zoom out, I want to show you, once we've got all that set up, if you move over the page, you're going to find another form. This one is called CarView. CarView is an abbreviated version of what you just did with all the basic information you need to have a hard copy in your car. You can print it right here, and it will print this exact page for you that you can keep in the car so you know where you're going as a backup for whatever reason. I just like having it, handy so I can look at it. When you've completed your trip, it's time to enter some additional information. By the way, if you happen to notice, the route income for this trip is right here for you. It's added up everything. Now, once this information is done, you've completed this portion of the route planner. So let's stop here with one exception. The last thing you need to do here is you need to copy this to the log. So here's the copy to log. Click on it, and there it is. There's all the information we need in the log: the date completed, the shop number, the type of video, the location, the address, the pay. And we're going to come back to this in a moment. But for now, let's just hide this tab. So you've completed your shop and you've come home. It's now time to enter some additional information to keep track of your records. You'll go back into your February 14th tab. You will now scroll down. Daily income and expense. Let's enter in the information. I spent $25 on fuel, $5 on tolls, $5 on parking. I had a meal. I didn't stay overnight, but for this exercise, I'm just going to put in an amount here so you can see how it works. These columns here, miscellaneous, are for whatever else you could possibly think of, and you can change these headings if you'll so desire. Okay, and if you don't change them here, you'll be able to change them on the log form. The one thing I didn't mention to you is the fuel estimator. When you're calculating a route, you may want to know what some of your expenses are. Well, that trip we looked at was 320 miles round trip. My car gets 20 miles to the gallon. Fuel is $2.25, so it costs me $36 in fuel. If I'm using a standard mileage rate to expense my expenses for my vehicle, that is where this information comes in, and it's only utilized as information. If I want to know what my miles are per gallon or what the cost of fuel is, I could have done it from the main menu like you were shown, but there's also shortcut buttons here that do the exact same thing. So they're also available for you here. Now all this information is here. I need to put this to my log. This is going to go to my daily income log. So I'm going to click on the daily income button, right? View it, and there we go. Route, date, miles, income, fuel, etc., all the way across, showing you what your net is for the day once it subtracts your income, total income from your expenses. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the logs. We'll start with the shopper's log. In the shopper's log, you may see the information entered different than what we had originally placed. I redid some of the locations just to speed along our presentation. The important thing is that all the information you do enter onto your route planner will automatically populate onto this sheet. The date completed, the mystery shop company, the shop ID, the shop type, the location name and address, the shop pay, the bonus pay, the reimbursements under purchase paybacks, and the total amount fee, including reimbursements. So now that you've completed your shop, you're going to enter in the date you submitted the report for your records, and we'll say it was the 15th. Okay. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to say, okay, well, March 15th came along and they paid me around the 14th. Works for me. And the amount they paid me for this one was, Shadow gave me a $80. And how'd they pay me? Well, I got a little drop down here that you'll see in your setup that's been added. May have not been mentioned originally, but it has now been added. And they pay me by PayPal. Great, I have a record of that. And now I am going to hide this because it's done. Great. Okay, now I'm going to go and look at my daily income. So on February 15th, I traveled 100 miles. I had $180.50 worth of income, which included reimbursement. And this is what I spent. That's what I was left with. And that's all pre-entered for you. So you don't do anything. If you make any changes, you need to change it here and not on the route planner, because if you update from the route planner, it does not update the specific line. It will add a new line. So there you go. Hide this tab. Okay. Now, I want to see a summary of everything I do so I can see how I'm doing on a per company. Who do I shop more for? Type of thing. Who owes me money? So let's go to the shop summary icon. All right. So you will see here nothing, because we need to go to update data. We will also need to go here and we need to select who we're working for. There's the companies. You don't have to have mystery company highlighted. You can take that one off. Click OK. Select here. All right, so we want to select, take out the blanks and enter in any of the months. And we did February. So we'll click OK. And look at that. There's all of our information for February and our grand totals. So according to this, we did one shop for Grace Hill. They paid us $40. There was no bonus. The average number of shops we did was 1. The average pay was 1. So what you're going to see here are all your averages. And these numbers will make more sense to you with the more shops you do, because those numbers will increase as you go on. And you'll see how the averages come into effect based on the number of shops you do. Okay, if you go here to outstanding shop fees, it scrolls across. Here's who owes you money, and the shop date, what shop you did, what you were paid, what the current balance is. And if remember, Shadow paid us $80. Well, there you go, and you have no balance. It also gives you running totals, and you'll be able to select here by month. Okay, this does all, so it's always going to give you your complete running total here. Okay, and if you scroll across one more time, this will show you your expenses on an ongoing basis and give you grand totals. Oops, sorry, right there. Your grand totals are right there. That's it. Scroll back. That's your expense list I just showed you. So there's a little tab there to shoot you over quicker. Information on how the drop downs work. And of course, hide this report. Make sure you always save your work. So that's Route Planner. I hope you enjoy using it. If you have any questions or any improvements you'd like to see, please contact me via email and have yourself a great day. And keep shopping the USA. Bye for now.